Hi all, this is Vamps here, re-recording this for technical issues. Hopefully this time it goes okay. So, content warnings for TBMC and for blood, mentions. So obviously most people have some understanding of what a vampire is. In fact, that's one of their strengths for TBMC use. They are monsters that are easy to understand and easy to disguise a human as. Uh, a tuna monster that you can tell a child about, have them seeing every sort of human, one that they can see themselves as even stronger, faster, almost tuna unbeatable. However, they adhere to strict salt rules and hierarchies. A low-level vampire may be unbeatable to a human, but the same differential exists between the elders and newer, younger vampires. This forces obedience and subservience. From all of these lower on the totem chin pole than the leaders who are inevitably the same as those for the whole organisation. It allows for victims to be ranked and measured up relative to each other, with some victims inevitably placed in the position of harm or be harmed, and others placed in the position of simply being harmed, although rarely the vampires themselves. There can be the case, but it's less common. So one common component is forced perceived salt dependency on blood. This comes from, or one way to achieve this is, it's not the only option, but is one of the more common options, is through depriving the victim of food and or water for a time, long enough that they are desperate, and then switching in the intended vampire, or even leaving the intended vampire there the entire time. It does depend. Then offering blood as the solution and only solution that they're provided with, and then as that satiates the need, the desire there, then it starts to be seen as the thing that satiates that desire. And obviously, this is as blood is difficult to get hold of, and often requires violence. This serves two purposes. Firstly, it keeps one loyal to the organisation, as that is the provider for that blood, and secondly, it instills an inherent violence, which is, of course, desirable for the organisation, pretty much regardless of the specific organisation. There is a level of inherent violence desired. So it's also common to have feeding rituals where larger groups generally are gathered together to perform a group feeding in which hierarchies can be re-established and shown through particulars of seating. The particulars of seating will vary, but you're generally looking at about 20% perpetrators, depending, of course, on how you define perpetrator and the specifics of an organisation, but anywhere from 10 to 100 bodies in total. Yeah. So, and yeah, as you said, used to show rankings, seating specifically regimented to show dominance. Yeah. So, onto the deprogramming. One of the crucial things to break is the idea that blood is necessary and the only source of the survival food, basically. Yeah, the only option for sustenance. The way we've managed to do this so far has been through making use of coconut at first, generally, but basically just through the consumption. It often helps as well to use bloodier foods or foods that more resemble blood in some fashion. And then basically through going through that and eating them, and then seeing that it A doesn't harm and B does satiate that need to a degree at least. That can slowly be broken. It's not necessarily going to be a fast process, but that is what we have found to work so far. Other things to establish, of course, are the breaking of that perceived hierarchy and need for obedience to the org. Generally, because that's ingrained in large degree in tune with the idea of powers, breaking the idea of there being people having powers of any form in this, in the outer world, is a good step. And obviously, to a large degree, that can be done where it's safe to do so by effectively attempting to use those powers and seeing them fail repeatedly, and when their positions are not somehow compromised. That is often a good choice. Additionally, looking and seeing that they have never actually used those powers and work properly, there has always been trickery. If they have been used outward, it's always been in the form of trickery and smokes and mirrors. Is generally a good one, is generally useful as well, because there'd be no need for smokes and mirrors if they actually worked. That can help a lot. Anyway, that's everything on the script, so going to leave you there for now.